you, Jen, for that awesome introduction, as always. And thank you all again for joining us this afternoon. I want to talk to you a little bit just about me briefly. I am apparently termed a customer success manager at Surefire Social, and I love that term because Surefire is really dedicated to the digital marketing success of our clients and trying to help our clients meet their different goals that they might have, whether it is to increase their visibility or online, or maybe it's to get a bunch more leads so that they can help grow their business. And you can see I joined in 2014, and even back then, the landscape with Google was a lot different. There were a lot of more differences in how we build websites and how we do our digital marketing. And I kind of want to highlight on some of those changes today and talk to you a little bit more about specifically off-page SEO. So in my business, in my realm, I'm talking with my clients a lot about on-page search engine optimization and off-page search engine optimization. So what kinds of things are you doing on your website? But today we're going to focus a little bit more about what the rest of the internet is saying about you and what kind of things are drilling up, what kind of spectrum are you creating online. So some questions that we're going to attempt to answer today, and maybe you might be asking yourself, how do my customers use online media to make buying decisions? And even more than that, how can I take advantage of how they are searching for me and how they are making their buying decisions? What kinds of things are going into what are these people who are searching for me or searching for services I offer? What kinds of things are authoritative? What kinds of things do they ignore? And this is a question we're going to try and answer. And then another one is social media really important for my business and my success? And I'm sure if I polled you right now, but I'm not going to just yet, not yet. If I asked you, is social media going to become more relevant or less relevant in the next year, you would probably answer it's going to become more relevant. It is definitely increasing. But it's more than just sharing a pretty picture and hoping that it creates a lead. We're trying to show you a little bit more about what kinds of things actually contribute to successful digital marketing, including social media. So a little bit further drill down what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about a consumer journey breakdown. So where does the journey start? What is the client doing from the initiation of the idea that they need something from the internet, they need some kind of service, and hopefully your business is going to be part of that whole journey. And then also, how are you maintaining and monitoring your digital marketing strategy? So if you're ranked #1 right now, congratulations, that's great, but how are you going to stay there? Would you survive the next Google update? And so you want to know what kinds of things are contributing to keeping you successful, or maybe keeping you not successful. And then how do you measure these results? How are you keeping track of how well you are doing in each one of these digital marketing spheres, and what mediums are doing you the most good? It's not just about pouring tons of money into one, are your eggs all in one basket type of thing. So we're going to talk a little bit more about this. And as we go throughout this webinar, if you all have any questions, we're going to have some time for some question and answer here at the end. I encourage you to write in the little chat box. I'm going to have some folks with me here who are going to queue up the questions for me here at the end. So again, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this and talk a little bit more about how your online marketing presence is more than just your website. So first thing, we're going to be talking a little bit about the consumer marketing breakdown here, the journey, but I want to just brief overview again. What kinds of things are going into somebody searching the internet and trying to find you? Again, we're talking mostly about off-page information here. So things like, what kinds of blogs are you sharing off of your website that lead back to you? Are you doing any kind of pay-per-click? Are you doing video marketing? What kinds of things is contributing to positive search engine optimization within Google, Bing, Yahoo, all those different places. And then, are you doing any type of mobile marketing? What kind of planning are you doing? And we want to mention this because we have done lots of research on it, and so that week, as you can see, before buying decisions, consumers typically do a lot of research online. About 81% have claimed that they've done some kind of research online before making a buying decision. And then they're typically using search engines, and they are trusting these search engines to deliver results in an authoritative manner. So a lot of people are thinking that number one is probably because that is going to be the most authoritative search result to me. And Google, too, is trying to mimic being a human, so they're trying to serve you the best type of results as well. So to go ahead and get a feel for the audience, I'm going to go ahead and send a poll out to you guys. How many of these different marketing channels are you using, or do you think you're using? So I'm going to drill down a little bit more about what these actually mean here as we go throughout. But if you can tell me, are you using organic search, paid search? Are you using referral, social email? About how many would you say you're using? Have you heard any of these terms before? And do you think you're using a lot of them? Some of you might not know, and you can just click none. And some of you might be using, maybe you're just focusing on 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or you've heard of all of them, some kind of difference between. So we're going to spend a few more seconds deciding on, picking these for me. 5 more seconds. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on. And it looks like the results, what are we looking at the results, guys?
22% none, 33% 1 to 2, 33% 3 to 4, and 11 none of them.
Okay, so we have a lot. It sounds,
yeah.
Okay, there we go. It sounds like a lot of you guys are pretty informed, which is great. I love an audience who knows a lot about what we're doing here. And so it sounds like we kind of have a pretty even spread here. And not very many of you are using all of these above. So we're going to talk a little bit. We definitely have the opportunity here to help you increase your digital marketing and how to know if it's even working for you. So a lot of what we're trying to go through here is how you can understand your customers and how is your website story being told, your business story being told. And so we want to mention a couple of things, how you understand your customers, how are they finding people like you, and you want to know their behavior. So what kind of search words are they using in order to get to you? What kind of places are they finding you and leading to a referral that leads back to your website? Are they only finding you on mobile, or are they looking on their cell phone? Are they only looking you up there? Do you even look good in mobile? Are you mobile responsive or mobile friendly? Are they using a local directory to find you? And then how many pages did they visit once they hit your website? Did they go very deep? Did they go 2 pages deep? Did they come to your website and turn right around and leave, bounce right off? And then what did they do when they got there? I mean, they sat there for 2 minutes and then they didn't do anything. Or did they sign up for some kind of newsletter? Did they try to reach out to you? Did they make a phone call to you? Did they download a brochure? What kinds of things what is their behavior once they got there? And so we're going to talk a little bit more about their journey once, how they got to your website once they got there, and what determines their behavior once they've reached some kind of conclusion about you and your business. So again, we're going to first talk about a marketing channel breakdown. How did your customers find you? And there's really 2 main ways that we're going to talk about, but the first one is I want to talk about kind of the obvious one here, web search. And when you're talking about web search, we're talking about going to Google, typing in something, and having some kind of search engine result page or SERP page, served up to you. And the first way, the golden ticket here is organic search. And this is something that I am trying to focus on with my clients, trying to increase their organic search presence. And I'm trying to get them, somebody goes to Google, for example, types in Windows in Brighton, Michigan. We try to use very geocentric search terms here. And they get served up a list of results that are based on those search terms. Usually somebody, and so these results are going to appear in Google, Yahoo, Bing, and the rankings are determined by many factors. And it could be, you you have a lot of high quality links that are coming to your site. Have other people visited the site and increased your traffic, therefore increasing your authority? Do you have lots of keywords, really good keywords listed on your site? Do you have lots of really interesting data showing up on your site? And are you not spammy? Do you have things on, do you have completely custom content and you're not duplicating any, copying and pasting from anywhere else throughout your site? This is what the heart of organic search is not about ads. We're not, in a way, without paying for an SEO company, this is free. This is not a paid type of thing. We're talking about, you can show up, if you play your cards right, you can show up in organic search in a very good way. You have to know how, but it's very difficult in certain areas. It could be something like, I would say, roofing in Miami is very competitive, whereas in other places it's going to be less competitive because there's less density there. And again, natural, highest authoritative links are going to float to the top and be #1 here. And increasingly, too, if you just were to type roofing into a search engine and be returned results, it's going to base those results off the GPS on your mobile device or your ISP, wherever you happen to be located. So if I lived in Sterling, Virginia, then a lot of the results, I would just type in roofing. A lot of the results are going to be tailored to a Sterling, Virginia resident. And so we're very concerned with organic search and how are we showing up there, because this is the #1 way people are going to find you, and this is kind of the golden way. Your website will sit there with this organic search really, really high up there, and it's something that builds your website and will pretty much stay that way unless Google kind of changes their algorithm. The other way that you're going to appear in search is by using PPC, or page per click. And just like it sounds, it costs money. You pay Google for this advertising where you appear kind of above organic search results. And people know it's an ad because we have this little yellow picture right there that says it's an ad. And they know that it's an ad, and every time you click on it, let's say this particular person spent $100 with Google saying, I want to have a budget of $100. Each click is worth $1. So my website will be clicked on 100 times throughout an ad period. And Google will rate certain keywords to be more competitive than others. So for example, siding in San Antonio might actually be worth $3 a click or $4 a click. It can be very expensive, but it can also really, I usually suggest pay-per-click for my clients who just launched. It's a great way to kind of get the ball rolling and increase your traffic, which will in turn increase your organic traffic, which is kind of, again, my golden ticket there. So all these things, these are the main ways within web search people are going to find you, but people are also going to find you on online directories. And again, Google is using online directories to also determine search results. So let me give you some examples. We're talking about 411.com, Copilot, Dexnose, Yellow Pages, .com. We're talking about even other review sites like Yelp, Porch, Home Advisor, Topics. We're talking about Nokia, CityBot, all these different types of places. And then different search engines also have a type of online directory in there. Google has Google My Business, which I talked a lot about on my last webinar. If you don't have a Google My Business page, I highly suggest that you go get one, because that's how you're going to appear on a Google map. And we'll talk more about that here in a minute. But and then you might also show up within Facebook and Foursquare as a directory. Within these directories, it's not just about being listed. It's about being listed consistently. Do you have the same information throughout all of them? Do you have the same phone number? Did you move recently? Because I guarantee you're going to have different addresses on different ones. And some of these search engines and the online directories kind of pick up on a name, pick up on an address, and it replicates without you even realizing it. So you might have 5 different phone numbers, listed online, and that is actually going to hurt you a little bit because it is not consistent. It's something that is not the same across the board. So we're looking for lots of directories saying the same information and even being updated lately. And then you also, a lot of people are within these online directories. We're also hoping that you consider getting social, meaning interacting with your customers on some kind of social media. I mean, here I have some examples. LP Smart Siding shared a picture, and then somebody made a comment. Looks like it was a business-to-business interaction, and they were able to reply back as the business. And this is increasingly seen on Facebook and Twitter, whereas the business as an entity is responding with customers directly, even if it's, in this case, it's a manufacturer. It's somebody who can interact with them directly. So even more so for a small business to interact with your customers, you're going to want to try and get kind of one-on-one with them. And the same thing, we have an example with Gutter Helmet saying just thank you for the mention, trying to personalize the experience just a little bit more. So we're talking about how people are finding you. We talked about how web search and online directories, people are also going to find you through your content. And your content is going to show up in a multitude of places. And it's kind of like, what kind of story do you want to tell everyone across the board on the internet? You're going to want to publish new content to multiple places regularly. And types of content are going to include testimonials, reviews, different types of images, new videos, status updates, stuff about your company, new things that are going on, professional building activities, like we recently are going to be at a home show, or we're going to be at this training conference. We're constantly building ourselves up to make us a better person or a better business for you as our customer. So what kind of story are you telling? And that's how people are going to find you and determine whether they want to get in touch with you. So these are the ways, just some of the marketing channels in which people are going to find you. But then it says, which ones do you focus on, right? What kinds of things how do you know everything is going well, and how are you monitoring and maintaining good types of results? So first thing I'm going to mention is that reviews really do matter. Here we have a GAF.com, and you can see here Google is picking up on the fact that GAF has a rating of 4.6 stars out of 64 votes. So Google is saying, I know this particular manufacturer is very highly rated. So if I were to type in something, top roofers in my area, this manufacturer is going to show up very high. But keep in mind, a 1-star drop on a review rating could cost you 8% off your top line, off of people visiting you. So you want to be looking at getting lots of reviews, high reviews, and people tend to pay more for providers with high reviews. And 68% of people looking for a business to make some kind of purchase are checking online reviews before using contractors. It's the same in almost, you could pick almost any type of drill down here. We could talk about retail, we could talk about, we're talking about contractors and home remodelers. You could be talking about multitude of different metrics here, and a lot of people are going to be using online reviews before and checking them, looking for somebody who has the highest star rating, and that's probably who they're going to pick or at least investigate. And we want them to investigate you. We want to get them onto your site so that they can make a decision about you. But a lot of people have trouble getting reviews, and it can be very difficult to ask somebody personally for a review, or they say, oh yeah, of course I'll review you, and then you never hear back from them again. So one thing, small plug, I promise, one thing that Surefire offers, a product, is called GeoJuice. You can get local reviews from clients by texting them. You can kind of just go to them and turn to them once you've completed a job and say, hey, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to work with you today. And you just say, hey, do you mind filling out this quick review? It'll take you 30 seconds. And they can tap a bunch of stars, and you can see these stars lead, are picked up by Google, contribute to you doing well within search engine results as well. So something to consider. But you also want to figure out how you're getting found. And we want to look at that your maps are all correct, that this is the Google My Business I was telling you about. You can check out how your map pin is in the correct location, and accurate maps and local directories help customers find you. And additionally, they help clients navigate to you. I mean, I had a client who had the correct address listed, but the pin was in the incorrect place. And so every time someone tried to just say, yep, I want to drive to this place, they were going to the other side of town. So you want to try to investigate these things about your business. Google yourself, absolutely. Check these things out. Try to pretend you're one of your clients and try to see what kinds of things are popping up about you. And I mentioned before, listing accuracy really matters. How does your business appear on the web? Are you listed consistently? And Surefire has a free measuring tool that you guys can use in order to plug your information in and find out how you are listed. And I want to mention, this tool, you do want to be pretty accurate. If you have a suite number, definitely include it, because a lot of times online directories, unless you're controlling it, they'll tend to drop those kinds of things. And those are very important to, again, to the consistency of how you appear online across the board. So you can visit surefiresocial.com/surescan-measured in order to check that out. And we'll have some of these links again at the end so you can take a look at these later. But speaking of Googling yourself, also want you to Google your competition. And this is one of the first things that I do when I get some clients, and I'm trying to monitor where they are, trying to figure out where they are when they first came to me, how are they ranking. So, for me, as somebody who's trying to prove our worth here, I want to show them success. What is my baseline here? What am I trying to say that this is where we're starting, here's where you were, here's where you are now, and here's where we're going, right? And so we want to do multiple Google searches and try to find roofing, remodeling, what kind of words are contributing to that you want to rank for. And we typically say you want to put a service and the city you're in and pay attention to who shows up first. Is it a competitor of yours? Look at the maps. Is somebody else showing up above you? Are you even listed? Are you even showing up here on this site? And if you're not showing up on page 1, can you determine why? And we'll talk about that in a second. And something else I want to mention, even if the search is generic, Google's going to take, again, your GPS or your ISP to figure out where you are. Google's increasingly trying to be smart, and for better or for worse. So you need to, if you just type in, I need a plumber, they know that they're going to serve you up different plumbers in your area that are probably offer 24-hour emergency services so that they can help you as quickly as possible. So when looking at the search engine results for you against your competition, why is someone ranking higher than you? And you'll notice that one of the main reasons that people show up, is back to that review feature. Are you being reviewed on Google+? Are you being reviewed on your site? Are any of those reviews, is that the difference between, that could be the difference between ranking number 1 and ranking number 15. So you kind of want to check, do they have a prettier site than me? Do they have a lot more information? Is there a lot more information going up in the header? Does it just look like, have they been around longer than you? We have to play catch up with a lot of competitors, and I usually take a look at the search engine results for my clients and say, well, this is who I need to take down, but they've been around for 10 years. They're very authoritative, so I need to see what they're doing in their area in order to try and catch up. So, you also want to check on different devices and in different ways. You want to check on, don't just use Google as the search engine, also check on maps. You want to see what kinds of places, if people are trying to navigate to these places, they're going to type it in within Google Maps and be served up information, and who shows up first. In this example, people are going to pick Southwest Exteriors because they have the highest reviews. But it looks a little different. It's a totally different ad on mobile. You can see here, this area over here is showing a mobile search engine result. It looks kind of different, and it seems like there's a whole lot less information going on, a lot less choices. So, this is going to be determined by whether your site is mobile friendly, because Google wants to be authoritative and send you to the right place. And as I mentioned earlier, search engines and search changes are going to change over time. Keep in mind that something that people were searching for 10 years ago is not going to be the same kind of search terms that they're using today. And if you're not keeping track of it, you can very easily fall behind. People are probably still going to be searching for roof repair or a leaking roof, but increasingly we're finding people are typing in, probably from using the iPhones and Siri, they're typing in things like roof repair near me, roofing contractor near me, and they've actually almost doubled since last year. So people are increasingly using their smartphones and their versus a desktop computer. So if you don't look good in mobile, you're not going to get the kind of traffic that you need in order to do well. So these are some different ways that you can monitor how your different, keep track of the different types of digital marketing mediums you're accomplishing, and we've determined how you're going to be looking at the customer channel, how people are finding you. But then how do you measure these results? How do you know that the different things you are attempting to do, the different mediums you are using, are actually working? It's not just about getting 1,000 hits of traffic if you don't get any leads, right? So we need to talk about, where are your customers, right? Where are they located? Where are they in the process in the customer journey in order to try and find you? And where do they stop? Where do they give up and pick somebody else? How are you measuring your spending? And how do you know how much you're spending on different areas of digital marketing? And then you want to see what's working. And it's really important to try and optimize your campaigns quickly. So in this section, let's go ahead and drill down here a little bit further. So in order to track your customers, you need to find out where they're coming from, meaning how did they find you, and why did they find you in that way? Right? So we're talking about, did they find you on organic search? Well, what kind of words did they use in order to find you on organic search? It's great that you're getting a lot of traffic, but if you don't know why, you don't know how to maintain it. And then also, did they find you through referral traffic? Is there a manufacturer website that is listed you very highly, and maybe that deserves you upping your relationship with them because you're getting a lot of traffic from them? If you're considering dropping a manufacturer but you're getting tons of leads from there, that's probably a decision you want to make with a lot more information, a lot more research. And so there's a multitude of reasons why where people are coming from, and a multitude of reasons why they came to you from that direction. But you kind of want to drill down more and measure your return on investment. So we could spend an entire webinar talking about return on investment, and we would be talking about things like, are you meeting your various goals, and there's various reporting methods that are going to determine this for you. And how many people are coming to your website. You're probably going to be using Google Analytics, and then what words are they using, what search queries are they using to get there. That's more in Webmaster Tools. Is your social media playing off? Numerous social media reporting tools, Facebook Insights, we're talking about. Twitter can give you a little bit of an update about that kind of thing. And then, is my PPC contribution worth it? But all of that, how does someone keep up with so many metrics? And I can tell you from my experience, it's very, very difficult. It's hard to know, to look at a client, and I think a lot of digital marketing agencies and firms could say the same thing. It's very difficult to understand. I usually say a multi-headed hydra. You could tackle one and understand why this one is working, but you would have no idea why this other one is working without kind of an overall view of what's going on within your website. So we're just going to talk about one right now, and we're just going to talk about, are you meeting your various goals? And there could be various reporting methods that we're getting from there. So do you have a goal of how many leads you're looking for? Number of blogs that you've written in a particular month? Number of jobs? Do you have a cost versus value analysis? Are you getting lots of prospects? Are those leads that you're getting turning into prospects, or are they really low quality leads in which somebody is just asking about a very small aspect of your business? That's not doing you a whole lot of good. If you're paying a lot of money for something that is only giving you a small return on investment, that's something you want to reevaluate. And then you also want to take a look at YouTube videos, social shares. But again, are those getting you leads? Are those getting you prospects? Is that making you more money? And then number of reviews. How much effort did you have to put into getting those reviews? And were they all good? Were they not good? Did they hurt you? And so all these things, there's a lot of ways, a lot of goals that you could set. And marketing technology choices aren't easy. There's a lot out there, and everybody claims to be, could be your answer, or they claim to be part of the answer to this question. And how are you able to keep track of all those things? I mean, Facebook says, well, we can give you insights on how many shares you're giving, but they can't tell you how many leads you got from your website. You're going to have to find that. You can find that yourself. But you're not going to get all your answers just from Facebook. And you're not going to be getting all of your answers from, all your social media or from a bunch of these other places. It's going to be just one facet of the whole story. And so I'm going to go ahead and poll you guys one more time. Make sure you're still awake. Let's go ahead and ask you, how many different tools are you using to keep up with your marketing goals? Are you using Google Analytics, Facebook Insights, Google AdWords, Yext? And I'll tell you now, I would probably have to answer, I am using more than I can handle, but that wouldn't be honest because we have lots of ways in order to help handle them. We're going to talk about those here in a second. Okay, so sounds like we're close. So what were our results, guys?
All right, 29% said none, 57% said 1 to 4, 0% said 5 plus, that's no one, and 14% said more than I can handle.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's definitely telling, and I think if you're using a few, we're going to talk about something. We're going to talk about something that's helpful for you. But again, even if you just say more than I can handle, I'm with you. I know where you are, and I've in the past year I've looked at a lot of the coaches that we have here at Surefire, and I say I don't know how you do it, but I've learned a lot of things along the way. And again, one of the major things that we found is that we have to understand the full picture. We talk a lot about this kind of view from 30,000 feet. We want to look down from where the whole picture here, and if we're doing well organically but we're not doing well in some other metric, is there a reason why? Is there a way without opening multiple tabs and flipping through all the different tools that we could find? And so Surefire saw this need. We came up with a product called, introducing, SurePulse. And so SurePulse is something that we've developed to give folks the digital marketing control, whether you're the pilot, you're the person who's leading the marketing strategy for your website, or for, maybe you have different clients, but it also can help you for the digital marketing passenger. So somebody who's more just trying to do a lot better with their website. They don't understand all these metrics, and they need somebody to kind of give them that full picture. And so this is a dashboard that helps you put all of those things into one place and helps you understand a little bit more about that. And so we integrate some of the best of breed marketing technology, and we talk a lot about how things are coming to your website and then where they're going. So things are coming from your social media back into SurePulse and reporting to you how that did. And then also we can say, here are the blogs from your website, and they went to social media. So it can go in both directions. We can say you got 50 phone calls based off of the last digital marketing campaign that you ran within social media, or maybe we can tell you, you really should focus a little bit more on the copy on your website because your keyword density is really, really low. And we can tell you your reputation is not doing so well. A lot of these reviews that you guys have out in the spectrum are contributing to people not visiting your site. Your reviews are low, your organic traffic is low, therefore we need to work on getting you some more reviews. And so this can be your action plan. This can be a way to know how well you're doing, and know what kinds of things are doing well, what kinds of things are helping you get to the place where you want to be. You want to ask, do I want to increase my business? What are my goals? And how am I measuring those goals? And then how do I know the big picture? And again, SurePulse makes it extremely easy to see exactly where your business stands online. And so, we could talk all day about all the different things that we packed into this, because it was kind of like a wish list for people like me who said, I can't handle this. I need something that is able to serve this to me, and help me understand where my client stands within a glance. But this allows you to publish content directly from your website onto social media and understand how it did once it got there. And it gives you the opportunity to engage with prospects on social media, discover how your customers found you through search insights, what kinds of words are they using to find you, and then it gives you the opportunity to monitor and then even respond to those reviews without having to search for your login. It gives you the all-in-one dashboard type thing. And then finally, it gives you the opportunity to track all of this. Where are your efforts best spent? Where have they been spent? And where should you be spending them into the future? So, we want to help you measure your online success, maximize your marketing spend, and maximize the ability for you to find out how well you're doing and go into the future with that information well armed and in a way where you know where you are, where you're going, and a place where you feel confident in your digital marketing strategy. So I'm going to go ahead and open up an opportunity to ask some questions that might have arisen over the course of this webinar. And I want to go ahead and thank everyone for joining us this afternoon. I really appreciate your time, giving us a chance to talk to you about SurePulse, about a little bit about GeoJuice, and then really just trying to help you all understand how this digital marketing can be very complex and very daunting. And it can be very difficult for you to understand your return on investment. And there are tools out there that can help you accomplish this. So if you're interested in learning more about SurePulse, we encourage you to visit our website, surefiresocial.com/SurePulse-measured. And then you could also call 888-804-8685 for your own 30-minute marketing consultation and a SurePulse demo, where we'll show you a little bit more about how it works, what it looks like, what kinds of information you can gather from it, and you can take a look at it and understand what's going on within SurePulse and how it might fit into your digital marketing strategy. So Jen, do we have some questions that we've been teed up throughout?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Beth. The first question is, should a business have multiple websites, own a website, and then a page on their national site?
That's a great question. So Surefire has several different types of clients that are looking for things like that, answers to that question. And I would say it's of course going to depend on the business, and it's going to depend on what you're trying to accomplish with multiple websites. I would say if you are a remodeler, then you're probably going to having one website that you can focus on and funnel everything dedicated to the different services you offer. So let's say you're a remodeler, an exterior remodeler, right, that does roofing, you do window replacement, you do siding, and you do gutter replacement. I wouldn't have a separate website for each one of those things. I would have one website that is going to funnel all of those things into one place. And that way you can kind of measure your success against one, and then if you decide to start a new business, that's an idea that you can start a new website down the line. But you want to kind of put in that section, I would definitely want to put have one place in which you're focusing on, rather than split up any goodwill that Google might have about you. The second part of that question was a little bit more about should you have a representation with a manufacturer or a franchise, and whether you're appearing with them. And I'm going to say absolutely. You want to be talking. I'm going to use GAF as an example. GAF has a directory listing of different contractors, and as you build up your authority with GAF, you do a lot more jobs that you fill out reviews, you can increase on your scale there, and they have a link to you, and they promote you there. And the GAF has been around for quite a while, and they have a great marketing presence. So I also think of other companies like Renewal by Anderson and a couple of others that you think about a rising tide raises all ships. So you definitely want to try and have a presence with somebody who has a bigger marketing budget maybe than you do, but you also want to think about that you are positively representing the business, and it should be a wonderful relationship in which they can help you get referral traffic that way, and you can continue to be a great representative of the product.
All right, great. We've got another question. Sure. How do you deal with bad reviews?
Oh, great question. So this is the fear and unfortunately the cost of doing business in these days within the digital marketing. And I can think of several clients who are afraid to put themselves out there for fear of getting one bad review. And we mentioned earlier, 1 star can cost you a lot of business. But the answer is that the truth is you want to mitigate the damage, meaning you want to try and respond to it professionally, say, we reached out to you, we have attempted to make it right. A lot of places like Yelp and Angie's List and Better Business Bureau and a lot of places where people are going to be looking for reviews give you the option to respond back. But it's not just a matter of responding back in a way that is very defensive. We got to figure out a way of what the problem was. We've identified the problem. We've, attempted to make it right within our business so that going forward, we've attempted to make it right with you, customer who's upset, and we would really appreciate if you feel confident, feel much better about the service you received once we tried to help you out, that we would love for you to update your review for us. That looks better to somebody who is looking for reviews to make their decisions. That looks better to somebody than just completely ignoring it and saying this was completely off base, or even looks better to somebody who has completely 5 stars across the board. Believe it or not, people understand that fake reviews exist. And so they're hoping that they will be able to see the problems and decide, well, I see that sometimes they're a little unresponsive, But it seems like they're trying to work on that. I understand this person is a business. This business has people, human error here, and that's a problem I can deal with. That's something that I understand what the problem is, and if I know that going into the deal, then I feel more confident in making that decision with them. So a bad review is not the end of the world, and it is also something that should be controlled in a way that you can put your own spin on it. But it's definitely not something that you should be afraid to go out and try and ask for reviews, because positive reviews can do so much better for you in the long run, and you don't want to focus on the negative.
All right, another question for you. Should we upload videos to YouTube and then add them to our website?
So that's a great question, and that's typically how Surefire does it. Is a client gives me, especially since Google and YouTube are so close, right? Google owns YouTube, so we're able to, Google likes videos to show up in YouTube. So versus, what are the alternatives? There are a couple of different alternative video hosting services on the web, and YouTube's probably going to be your best bet. And it's really easy to put a little iframe in there and include, everything great in the description, a link back to your website, and for more information, make sure you click on here, learn more information about me. And that's typically how we do it, is that we start a client with a Google Plus account, and actually recently Google removed that requirement, so you actually don't have to have a Google Plus account in order to use YouTube. But we would then upload the video to YouTube so that it could get some kind of sharing or some kind of notice in there, almost on a social aspect, but then put it on the website so that people can learn more about it and it possibly get more visibility that way.
All right, and one last question. What are local directories and why are they important? And to piggyback on that, what's the best, most important directory to be present in?
Oh, gosh, that's a great one. So directories are honestly the online form of yellow pages, right? Yellow pages. I mean, I just got a huge phone book in my mail the other day, and I said, I'm so sorry, I am not going to use you. I use online almost 100%. So I'm going to go to Google and type in some information, and there are a bunch of different places that are capitalizing on information sharing and trying to find business directories, places where you might be listed. An example off the top of my head, Merchant Circle is one. Manta, I think of Kudzu is a directory. City Search, a bunch of places that come and go with popularity, and some places, some directories are considered higher quality than others. Most of these directories their information from data aggregators. We're talking about Localese, Factual, Newstar. Those are the major places where these directories are gathering their information. So they're just places where you are listed online, and again, they kind of replicate. They kind of take your information and just send it out there in order to try and serve it up within search results and for people to find you.